Hello everyone, it's Rick. It is September the 12th, 2019. It's another car video. If you need to reach me, my email is rick, rick0327@me.com. Please only send me emails if you're inquiring how to receive my court affidavits and other affidavits to communicate with the child support agency, to communicate with DMV, credit bureaus, get your passport back. Okay, I've had people have success with my affidavits. Okay. I don't make any guarantees, okay, because anybody makes guarantees with this court system is lying to you. Okay, our court system is the biggest wild card of all time. I say there's more crimes committed inside of a court building than the worst neighborhoods you can imagine. Okay. I would imagine some of you come from some bad neighborhoods. Okay. Luckily, I grew up lower middle class white guy in the neighborhood, so I don't know what that means. But I will tell you that the courts are the biggest tricksters going. The wording of the paperwork, it's unbelievable what these judges and fake judges do. If you say something in your opening statement, they'll look to dismiss your paperwork and don't even look at the rest of the paperwork, won't look at any facts, won't look at any evidence. They do any kind of trickster wordplay to dismiss your paperwork. One of their favorites is the sovereign citizen nonsense. Okay, let me tell you, if you were, as I done it, and I may have mentioned it in my last video, but if you were to sue a state, city employee, judge, fake judge, you know what the first thing they're going to say is they're sovereign. So they're sovereign. They have sovereign immunity under the 11th Amendment. But you or I cannot mention sovereignty when we walk into a courtroom. Isn't that hilarious? It's all because everything that they do, anytime a group of people are educating themselves, they always look for a way to minimize them by making them sound crazy. I touched on a couple of videos ago. There's a thing called QAnon. It's a I don't know anything about it. I've never been on one of these chat boards. 4chan, there's 8chan. I heard. I follow alternative media on YouTube. Okay, a lot of the channels that I used to follow got taken down. Okay, there's some serious censoring going on. So any type of truth telling, you get censored. Same thing in the courthouse. Okay, so anyway, there was some guy giving warnings, and he was right. Called the Q. It's something to do with a Q clearance or whatever. Well, wouldn't you know that right away they're labeled conspiracy theorists, domestic terrorists, and on the FBI website and the Department of Justice, they're labeling people who follow QAnon as domestic terrorists. This is outrageous. Okay, outrageous. And they do the same thing with us. That's. I have a tendency to start something and I go on a tangent. All right, and I apologize, but I got so much stuff going on in this head of mine. Well, that was the point I was making, is that there are people like us who are constantly looking for information on the internet, YouTube, people obviously watching my channel, you're looking to learn and certify things in your head, and what they do is they label you crazy. Conspiracy theorists. Well, conspiracy theorists in the courthouse is called sovereign citizen. Okay? So, in some of my paperwork, I had, you're a state citizen. See, when you're born in a state, you are a state citizen. Because think about it, then why have state names? Why don't we just all call it America? Because every state has they're autonomous. Every state is different. They all have different constitutions, except that they're supposed to have basic Bill of Rights securities in the state constitution. Okay, you have the right to a trial by jury. You have your property cannot be seized, or your private property on your house cannot be seized without a warrant. Well, every state has that. Your freedom of speech, okay, equal justice under the law, equal application of law, okay, and when people were using these things, like and state citizen, it's recognized by the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, that you can be a state citizen, right, and not be a United States citizen. Okay, so a United States citizen is a federal citizen. Really, it's like being a federal employee, but I won't go into that too much. But anyway, what I do is I cite. You cannot see it. If I were to send you an email, and you would open it on your smartphone, you would not be able to see it. You have to, download it on your computer, open it on your computer, and if you have a Microsoft software, you'll be able to read it. And I cover all these things. Well, these judges and judge surrogates, fake judges, what they'll do is, like I will say, you're a sovereign state citizen, but I don't say anything about sovereign citizen. Well, sadly, I had to remove it from all my paperwork because too many people were going in there and they were trying to beat them up in the sovereign citizen stuff. And because many of you never been in court, it's not your fault. You're not expected to be an experienced litigator. None of us are. I had a background from when I was a police officer. I'm very comfortable speaking in court, and then when dealing with my situation, I got better at it when I went to court. I learned all the ins and outs with the the change of circumstances. Here's another thing: your ex, they're not supposed to take you to court to increase your child support unless there's a change of circumstances. See, when they set an amount for child support, it's supposed to be a set amount that's supposed to last a while. Okay, unless there's an unforeseen change of circumstances, and the standard usually is 15% up or down. Okay, so if you had a change of income plus 15% or decrease in 15%, then they can possibly modify the agreement. But because the state is the beneficiary, because the custodial parent assigned support rights, because they're alleged, because they're supposedly receiving benefits from the state, the state takes over the collection, and what they do is they start garnishing your income, your wages, so the state can receive 66 cents on the dollar. Okay, it's all a scam. All right. So But if the mother is not receiving public assistance, they're not supposed to be allowed to assign support rights. But again, remember I told you guys a lot of times it's all work. They all work on these presumptions, and you're supposed to object to the presumption. All right, and then you got to hope that they acknowledge the objection. But anyway, because the state benefits the state benefits by bringing you back to court every 3 years to increase your child support. Well, again, they're not allowed to do that unless there's a change of circumstances. But again, they apply it, and again, you're supposed to object and say there's no change of circumstances. You understand? Everything is based on presumptions. They presume that you're a United States citizen. You're supposed to object, say, no, I'm a state citizen. They presume that the custodial mother is receiving public benefits. You're supposed to object and say, no, that's not true. She or he are not receiving any monetary assistance or medical assistance, and onward it goes. So everything's based on these presumptions, and you're going to have to file objections, and that's the reason why I have so much paperwork, because there is so many scenarios you got to file objections for. You got to file an objection. You're objecting that they don't have personal jurisdiction. Okay? If you're a state citizen, like me, I'm a state citizen. I was born in Ohio, but I live in New York. So it all matters on where you were born or where you live. So wherever you live, you're a state citizen of that state. So that means your feet are within the boundaries of the land of your state, the landmass, which is your state. So another state cannot hold a hearing while you're in absentia. You're absent. Because your feet were not firmly in the ground of that state when they were supposed to serve you. That's why you're supposed to be personally served. That's why they also, what they do is they serve you by mail, and it's up to you to object. You're supposed to say, wait a second, I don't live in your state. Wait a second, object, contest. Wait a second, I do not live in your state. All of these presumptions is how they hammer us. And that's why I mentioned in my last video, I believe, that they use fear and intimidation by saying you may be arrested. The word may. Shall be arrested. Shall. These are future tenses that may or may not happen. That way they could say, when you say, because I know this because of communications with other people, when I took my paperwork, they're like, Rick, I said that, and they go, no, we said you may be arrested. So you see the word play? So they know exactly what they're doing. There's not one word they've had a long time to perfect this debt collection scam. Okay? And they'll say, no, we said you may be arrested. No, or your license may be suspended. You understand? So that's how they get away with the presumption. And here's the thing. Anytime they use a presumption against you is a violation of due process. You're supposed to be prosecuted on facts and evidence, witness testimony. You're allowed to interview your accuser. How many of you get to do that? Okay? When I do these videos, it's a lot of information. I go off the top of my head. And also, I've been doing it because I'm in the middle of getting another computer. My computer is all screwed up. All right, so that's how come I haven't made a video, and it's a whole hassle. I gotta back up all my information. It's a pain in the ass. All right, but anyway, sometimes I like doing this. A lot of my videos back in the day were these type of videos, and my my subscriber list grew based on these little one-way chats with my little video chat that I have with you guys. Presumption is a violation of due process, and their whole goal is to get you to show up. Once they got you, it's very hard to get away from these people. And again, I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not comfortable saying to you, "Don't go," because I know what can happen. It happened to me. See, what they'll do is they'll just say, "Well, you were served. We mailed you the letter on such and such date." Well, I never got it. Well, and then they have a hearing without you. But meanwhile, they know that they're supposed to. The law says that they're supposed to personally serve you. But who's holding them to the law? You're supposed to hold them to the law. It's really screwed up. I mean, I don't know anymore. I get, that's, if you send me your gift, I'm telling you, I have paperwork that I don't even use anymore because I'm constantly adding stuff. I have easily over 100 affidavits written for court paperwork and stuff. It's crazy. And if you were to send me a gift, I send you over 50 affidavits. So, I don't, I'm not, because I am not soliciting in any way. Okay? It's totally up to you. If you want to get my paperwork, it's up to you to reach out to me. I just say, if you're interested in my paperwork, this is my email address, reach out to me. And, and also keep the emails brief, and it's, it has to be for child support, all right? I don't do divorce stuff or custody. I don't get involved in that. It's just child support, okay? And I paperwork for income withholding orders, all kinds of, but again, with the gift, what I normally get works out that every affidavit that you receive is less than $3 an affidavit. Again, I want to help as many people as possible, so I don't try and hit anybody over the head. Okay, there's one thing that victims of child support does not have, and that's money. Okay, we all end up, and that's another thing. Soon as your name is in the system, they got your social security number, they immediately to your employer, to your bank, credit bureaus, okay? And I just recently got a house, and my credit's still screwed up from these people, okay? My credit's still screwed up, and it's all done on purpose. I mean, these people are absolutely ruthless people. Ruthless. They're psychos. They are psychos. Okay? because I always have new subscribers, some people, they don't even, a lot of people tune out when I do these videos. They heard the same stories, but I got to tell them anyway. I remember going to the child support office in Manhattan here in New York City, and there's some of the nastiest people I've ever met in my life. They'll lie right to your face. Okay? One woman wouldn't even shake my hand. Thank you. She wouldn't even shake my hand. All right? A real nasty. And it was not, I was being, I had to be nice to her. I'm trying to fix things. Okay? And She wouldn't even shake my hand. And then another time I was there, they had like a line. Like, here's another thing, when you go there, they have a metal detector. Think about this for a second. A child support office has armed police officer, okay, assigned to the Department of Social Services. They have a metal detector for you to go through there. And they have a list of people who are not allowed to go in there. So in other words, anybody, like, my name was added to the list because I recorded the conversation. I notified the director, whatever she was, and, you know, notified her of a very serious, basically a crime committed by one of her underlings. And you know what she said? She said, "You're not allowed to record the conversation. You're not allowed in here anymore. Nothing about, sorry, sir, blah, 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 look into it." You know, and it was a serious thing. I mean, they were ignoring a judge's order and playing dumb with me. Now, like, let's say if I was stupid, they would have kept taking my money, even though I had a judge's order. I had to go back there 3 times. So they were ignoring a judge's order. This is what you're dealing with. So, like, even though I finally got a judge's order to get these people to stop, I still had to go back there 3 times. And then they still sent, after they stopped taking the money from my pension, they sent another income withholding. But because I made such a stink with my pension system, you know, I took them to court. When they got it, they ignored it this time because they were happy to see me go. Like, when they finally got a copy of the order from the judge, they called me up and said, "Mr. Wallman, we have your, you know, letting you know that your pension is not going to be garnished anymore." They were like happy to get rid of me because I caused a lot of aggravation for these people. They all knew who I was. And, you know, this is maybe a lesson for you to learn, that, you know, knowledge, you could, by making enough noise. They always say that the old adage, it's the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. Okay? So, you know, that's what happens when you have knowledge. So, you know, again, in my befuddled way, what I'm saying is that you're dealing with some really nasty people, and even when you're right, you may not get any help. Okay? So arm yourself with the information. I told you in the last video, your Bill of Rights. Your Bill of Rights are always there. They can never take away your rights. You have to stand firm with that. I don't give a crap what law they say. There is no law that takes away your right to a trial by jury. There's no law that takes away your right to have your property seized unless it's by a warrant. An income withholding order issued by a child support agency is not a warrant. It's not signed by a judge. Okay? And you have to understand that. You have the right to face your accuser. Where is the evidence against me? I am supporting my child, my children. That should be your stance. Where is the evidence that I'm not supporting my child or my children? Where? I'm not the reason why she or he is going on public assistance. Don't blame me. Why are you harassing me? Why am I even here? Do not issue any orders against me unless I get my trial by jury. All right? You gotta stand firm with these people. All the people that I have that's had success went in there with a level of confidence and went in there with a level of information that they were proficient enough to stand there, and they know the difference. Okay? They use all kinds of trickery when you go there. I just told you earlier about the sovereign citizen nonsense. So by having the word sovereign in there, they'll look to dismiss your paperwork because there is a case law by the Federal Court of Appeals, which, by the way, is below the Supreme Court. Okay, but what they do is they always grab a case law that helps them out. All right, it's a case law like they use the phrase, "Oh, here we are again with the shop one sovereign citizen claims that the law does not apply to them." Blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing: laws do not apply to you until they have evidence that you broke the law. Where is the evidence that the law applies to me? Meaning, where's the evidence that I violated a law? You understand? A child support enforcement does not apply to you until they have evidence that you're not supporting your child and the government had to intervene on your behalf. You understand? You're innocent until proven guilty. That never changes. So even though they get away with it, you got to stand firm on it. All right, listen, I can't believe it's almost 27 minutes have gone by. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys soon. My email is rick, R-I-C-K, 0327. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.